Greetings, graduate scholars, and welcome to IDC 6004 Advanced Research Methods. I'm Dr. Jeannie Bohannon, and for those of you who don't know me, I've been teaching IDC and English courses at Southern Polytechnic State University and now Kennesaw State University for several years. IDC 6004 is an advanced research methods class where you will learn to apply and synthesize your workplace writing and your academic writing in new ways regarding qualitative, quantitative, and mixed methods research. This brief course tour serves as just an introduction. There are videos in each module every week that will take you through what we're supposed to be doing, but for today I wanted just to introduce the course, and then in the video underneath this one, in the Begin Here module, you will see my welcome video, and please, after you watch this video, watch that one as well, and then complete our first VoiceThread introduction activity. Don't worry, as I always do, I provide you with templates and instructions and links and ways to get around broken links and all the information that you're going to need to succeed in this course. Let's start with our top 3 important items. The calendar, which is on the left-hand side of your 3-column screen. I have front-loaded the calendar so that it has all of our weekly module dates as well as our major dates for major course assignments. I would recommend that you download this calendar or you write the dates down in a printed agenda. That's usually what I do, just to make sure that I know where I am from week to week, and I also can plan my weeks based off of upcoming assignments in the weekly modules. So that's the first part. The second column in the middle is the content browser. It's also important because when you click the content browser in the middle, you will see our table of contents for the entire semester. Today, the first time you access this course, you'll click Begin Here and then complete our assignments on the Begin Here module. You'll see course policies, including grading criteria and etiquette guidelines, which we'll come back to in just a moment. And on the left-hand side, you'll also see our weekly modules. Our modules begin, as they all do in this IDC program, on Monday at 12:01 a.m., so right after midnight. That's when the content is set to release. And our weeks end Sunday nights at 11:59 p.m. Okay, so let's go back to course home. The third column is our news column. This is also an important part of our course journey together because here's where I will post important, interesting, and sometimes not so important advice and counsel and dates and upcoming things that are happening at the university as well as in our course for you. The first thing I would do when I log on is I would look at my calendar, I would look at my content, and then I would just browse through the news just like you're browsing through headings so that you can see what's going on this week. And the news feed updates automatically, so it will keep all of your news from beginning of the semester all the way to the end. Nothing gets deleted. Okay, so let's start with the content browser and our Begin Here module. So I'm going to click Content, go to Begin Here, and you will, after watching this video, watch my welcome video, which just tells you a little bit about myself for those of you who don't know me. And then we have our first VoiceThread activity with all the information that you need to complete the activity. And then we have course policies. Please take time to read all of the information contained in this submodule. Because all of you are legacy students, we're not accepting new students, so you all know that you're legacy majors in this IDC program from the old SPSU. I know you've been in this courses like this before. I know many of you have been here for several years. Here's the thing. We're now at KSU, so I need you to please, please, please pay attention to all of these items here. What I usually do is I download them and print them out for myself so that I have access to them because you are responsible for all this information for the entire semester, both for this course and other courses at KSU in terms of the university policies. So let's look at grading criteria. The grading criteria is the same as it is in all of your other IDC courses. This is standardized, of course, across Dr. Palmer's classes as well as my courses. So an A, of course, is fluency. A B is competency, and a B is what you need to pass the class. So anything underneath this area here, we don't want to see, right? And so we work really hard as professors to work with you throughout the whole semester to make sure that we're minimum here, maximum here, right? So we have a two-prong approach to our grading criteria, and these grading criteria are a thread that are a strand that is woven throughout the entire course. So in other words, all of our assignments, major assignments, weekly module assignments, are filtered through these course guidelines, which are based on, first, workplace writing, and secondly, academic writing. So an A demonstrates fluency, a B demonstrates competency, and you need a B to pass the class. A C is proficient, but a manager would ask you to revise sections of it, if not the whole thing. And if you were writing an academic paper, you wouldn't have the analysis and the synthesis, right? So what we're going to try to make sure is that we don't get anything below a B, and certainly not a D or an F. And if you have issues this semester, you know that I'm always here for you to help you attain these two levels. So please do email me, chat with me, and of course you can call me. I'm going to show you my contact information next so that you know exactly where you stand and exactly what you need to do. I believe in transparency, so all of our grades are updated in D2L. I usually take 24 hours with communication and up to a week to give you your feedback on your assignments as well as your weekly modules. So let's go back to course policies quickly and let's look at the syllabus. And this is by no means comprehensive. I want you all to certainly download these and read all of these. And many of these documents are similar, if not the same, as documents in your other IDC courses, but I do want to make sure you have all of the information that you need. All right, so our learning objectives are here. All activities for all of our weekly modules, including readings, viewings, and activities, contribute to your being able to complete all of these learning outcomes as well. Each module has its own learning outcomes, and of course we have our own course learning outcomes. We have major assignments. Those are worth 85% of your grade. They have to be turned in via on the due date by 11:59 p.m. via D2L Dropbox, right? Our schedule is in the course calendar. Week 4, we have our first blog project. Week 8, our open response midterm. Week 11, our second blog project. And week 15 is our final project. And if we go back to the major assignment guidelines, which I'll do in just a minute, you will see templates, guidelines, resources, and examples for each of these so that you can be successful in demonstrating fluency and competency within these assignments. Our weekly assignments are worth 15%. And of course, just like as in your other IDC courses, you have to have an initial response to my question with 500 minimum words and a response to your course mates in 100 minimum words with an average of about 150 words in those two responses. The initial response, of course, is about 500 words. Our required text is John Cresswell's Research Design textbook. You may buy it through the bookstore. You may buy it with an ebook. Every week I provide narrated PowerPoints that detail the major points of each item from the chapters of the text. You can buy the e-text or you can buy the print text. Just make sure you get the 4th edition. Here's my information. D2L email for questions related to the course. KSU email for things like letters of recommendation not related to the course. Here's my office. And I do ask that you please email me and then we can set up a time if you would like to meet with me. So we have a 15-week section coming up. Each Monday you'll log on. To fulfill our attendance requirements, you'll need to log on by Thursday nights at 11:59 to review the material, post your initial response to discussions, and then fulfill the attendance requirements. Then you have until Sunday night to do your dual responses to your course mates. There are no prerequisites for this course. I have information in here about academic integrity, accommodations, administration, and attendance, which we just talked about. So do peruse those and let me know if you have any questions regarding that. Here's our major assignment guidelines that I talked about. When you click on each one, what you'll see is that I've given you suggestions on resources. I've given you the parameters for the assignment and other resources for those of you who aren't used to doing multimodal content. Okay, grading criteria is the same as we just went over. All of our requirements are right here. I believe strongly in making sure I give you everything you need to successfully demonstrate fluency or competency in this course. So we have weekly modules in addition to tech help, which is the Kennesaw State Tech Support. Writing Center support, of course, is right here. And I'm going to take us through a sample weekly module. Every week you have your learning objectives and you have your assignments, which sometimes are videos, sometimes are narrated PowerPoints, in addition to the chapter for the text, which is the Cresswell text. So you have your discussion assignments for the week, your videos to watch, and then you have self-assessments, which are not graded. Certainly they are an opportunity for you to play and for you to gain deeper understandings. And then you always have what's next so that you can work ahead if you like and to know what's coming up and how to plan your week accordingly. Okay, so I think that's just about it. Here's the Dropbox, of course. Dropbox is where we have all of our due dates and all of our major assignments. You can check your grades here. And of course, let's go back to the course home, which has your calendar, your content browser, and your news. I look forward to working with you this semester and to successfully completing this course demonstrating fluency or competency. See you in the forums.